Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are doing a trail camera review on the Maxdone PH820 trail camera. This is the box that it comes in. I've already opened it. In fact, I've already set it up. I've already had it out in the mountains for a couple of weeks. And so I'm going to do the review and show you some footage from it. But this is the box that it came in. So that's the top of the box. Rear side of the rear of the box. There's the side that has some of the manufacturer's information on it. And I've already opened it. It came with the instruction manual, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on this here in just a minute. And then it came with a little USB charging cord, and then it also came with a little bracket if you want to mount it permanently on something. Now, I just tied it off to a tree with the straps that are included, but all the pieces you would need to mount it to a wall or to a fence line or anything like that would be in here as well. And then again, here is the little USB charger for it. And it's USB, and then Type-C is the other end. Here is the camera itself. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the instruction manual first, then we'll show you the features of the camera. So the instruction booklet has multiple languages. I used the English instructions, but I thought it was really good. It also had a QR code you could scan if you needed more in-depth help setting it up. Now, for those of you who know me, know I'm not very techy, not real tech savvy, even on things like trail cams. So for me, one of the most important features of getting a new trail camera is just that it's got to be easy for me to use and somewhat intuitive. And I really thought this was. I thought the setup features were really simple. It has, page by page, kind of step-by-step instructions on how to set up. If you want to do video, if you want to do photo, what resolution do you want on your photos, on your videos. It does everything from 2688 by 1520 on video settings all the way down to 640 by 480. It's got 1920 by 1080. 1280 by 720 and 720 by 480 plus the 640 by 480. You can also determine how long you want the videos to be, and I'll go through all those features here in just a minute with you. But I just found the instruction manual to be very helpful. I found the setup to be pretty simple and pretty intuitive. And so if it's simple for me, it'll be simple for you, because again, I'm not really a tech guy. All right, let's look at the camera itself. So as with a lot of these trail cameras that run on batteries, it runs on 8 AA batteries. The battery compartment is here. So it's hidden underneath this plate as you open up the camera. So I'm going to set this back in it now. Oops. Put it in backwards. See what I said about not being tech savvy? Let me replace that. And then we will turn this on so that you can see the screen. So, it has a digital screen on the inside that you can use when you're setting up the camera. You can also use it to review any footage that it has taken. So you go into the menu, you've got your photo resolution, your photo series. I'll just read these to you. Your video resolution, video series, which is, how many pictures you want it to take at a time, etc. Your video length, audio recording, shot lag, the sensitivity on your motion sensors you can set, target recording time, you can do a time-lapse feature, and then your language that you want everything in, time and date, photo stamp, password protection, etc. Format your memory card. So again, very, very, very simple. I set this up for 15-second videos for the test that I did on it. I didn't want to burn through all the, all the battery life. So the video length options are 15 seconds. You can do 16. You can do it in 1 second increments. So you could do anything that starts at 5-second videos. You can do 5. Really probably for as long as you wanted to go. So again, I just set mine at 15 seconds. The audio recording features, I had it set to on, and you can hear a deer kind of snort at it and an elk snort at it. So you'll hear that when I show you the actual footage that we took. So I'll put a link in the description. When I went and looked at his Amazon page, this retailed, oh, I'm just turning it off so it's telling you goodbye. This retailed for $55.99, but there was a coupon on it where it was, you could get it, I believe, for $49.99. So as far as price range, I mean, it's competitive. It's certainly not the cheapest trail camera out there. I've seen others that are cheaper than that. And then obviously there are some that are more than that. So I went up and set this up Lethem Hollow. It sat there for just over 2 weeks. I think I counted up, it was 16 days. Still plenty of battery life when I picked it up, and it got really cold. It was up there in sub-zero temperatures a couple of the days. And now, not every day was that cold, but we did have a couple of really cold days right after I had set it up. I set it right next to the Wasota G300 trail cam that I've done a previous review on. And so I'm just going to talk about some of the pros and cons and how it stacked up with that one. The nighttime pictures for this Maxdone 820, it was much more sensitive. It picked up more picture opportunities in the night than the Wasota did. Now, part of that may be operator error on that other trail camera. Maybe I didn't have the settings set as sensitive as I did this one. I'll go back and check. But this camera picked up multiple elk pictures that the other camera never went off. And I had them strapped literally on the same tree, one right on top of the other. I think the picture quality, even though I had them set at the same resolutions, was a little better on the Wasota, but the sensitivity for the sensors on this one were definitely better, particularly at night. In fact, this got triggered a lot between 11:30 and 2 p.m. on the days when it got above freezing, because what would happen is the sun would get high enough in the sky, temperatures would warm up, and the snow that was caked in the trees started to melt and fall, and that would trigger the video. So I had a lot of videos of falling snow, which in my mind is kind of a false positive, right? I'm mainly looking for wildlife. So anyway, I will put the link in the description. I wouldn't hesitate to buy this camera. You know, again, I'd probably wait till it went on sale, because I know of other cameras that I think are pretty comparable that run $39.99 pretty regularly. But if I saw this on sale for $39.99, I absolutely would not hesitate to pick up another one. I thought it performed really well. And again, very simple to use, very simple to set up. So let me go ahead and just plug the video now, and I'll just put, I don't know, I kept maybe 15 little video segments that this captured. Mostly wildlife. I think I kept one with the guy and his 2 dogs going through there, just because I was appreciative that he didn't mess with my camera. And then also on my way up to pull this, I ran into another pastor from here in the valley. His name is Don Woody. He and his wife Rachel were doing a hot tent camping excursion. I knew he liked the outdoors. I knew he used to hunt and fish and things like that. But I didn't realize they had a YouTube channel, so that's the channel I want to shout out, and their channel is called LivingontheApex, and I'll put a link in the description. Please check them out and tell them Minute on the Mountain sent you. I would love to have 40 or 50 of you guys go subscribe to his channel, and his videos are fantastic. I just watched one tonight to sub to his channel, because again, I didn't know he even had a channel, and I'll just tell you the production quality on his videos is significantly better than mine. So anyway, I think you'll enjoy it. Go check them out when you get a chance. And with that being said, let's go ahead and show you guys me going up the mountain and pulling those cameras off, and then show you the actual footage. And then after that, we'll come back and do the Minute on the Mountain. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. We are at the left-hand fork trailhead. I'm gonna head up to Lethem Hollow and pull those trail cameras. They've been up now for just over 2 weeks, either 15 or 16 days. Hopefully we've got some good footage on them. And then I'll compare this particular trail camera that they just sent me to that Wasota G300 that I did a review on last year. Fog and clouds are starting to break. Should be a pretty day. When I get back to the truck, if it gets above freezing, I might fish a little bit today. Right now it's still in the 20s, but it's supposed to get to the mid to upper 30s, so if it does, I may try to fish a little bit when I get back. I won't film much on the hike up. I just want to get up there and pull those, and let's see what we got. Well, hey everybody, I'm just heading back up to grab those trail cameras off that tree, and I ran into Don and Rachel Woody. Don is a pastor here in the valley at Emmanuel Baptist Church, and they did some hot tent camping last night, and I noticed he's got a tripod and a camera set up, so I asked him if he was going to post this. I didn't know Don had a YouTube channel, so I want to introduce you guys to Don and Rachel. And then Don, tell us about your channel. How can people check you out? I'd love to have people join your channel, man.
All right, well, we're yep, this is Rachel. I'm Don, of course, and that's Lady Bell down there. And yeah, we have a YouTube channel called Living on the Apex. It's all one word, just all together. And we just love getting outdoors and doing some overlanding and camping and hiking and backpacking. And we have our Appalachian Trail, 200 miles that she did on there as well. So yeah, we love this country and just love getting out. So I'd love for you guys to check out our channel.
Awesome. Well, yeah, check them out, guys. I'll put a link in the description of their channel. I didn't know they had a channel, so I'm excited to check it out. I knew that Rachel had done part of the AT this last spring into summer, right?
Yeah.
And then was it knees?
My back.
Back. She had some limitations with her back, so but I know she knocked off like 200 miles of it, I think they said. So yeah, we will we'll have you guys check that out. Stop to catch a breather, guys. This snowshoeing's just kicking my rear. Man, it's so much harder in the snow than just hiking. We've got somewhere between 20 and 30 inches of additional snow from when I was here the last time. You can see the old, and you can see the trail, but you can tell there's no new tracks in it, except for these little deer tracks since the snow. So I'm cutting fresh tracks for most of this. I started doing that about a quarter mile ago. The people who had come up before me turned around, so. And I'm only probably a little more than halfway to that trail camera. So I'm going to catch my breath here and get some water and then keep going. Well, they're both still here. Thank the Lord for that. You just never know when you don't lock them down, and I didn't lock them down. So I'll pop them open, see if we got some videos. I'll show you in just a second. I doubt you'll be able to see because of the glare, but we definitely have some game on here. Just saw a deer shot, a rabbit shot. The batteries, I thought were dead on it for a second. It wouldn't play, but they're not. That looks like it's just maybe shadows. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to get a lot of false positives because of the shadows. But that's okay. I know we got at least a few wildlife pics. This is on the most recent trail camera that was sent to me. I honestly don't remember the name of it. It doesn't have a name on it. It just had a number. When I get back to the house and do the full review, I'll tell you the model number on it. But I haven't turned on the Wasota yet, or haven't opened it up yet, so we'll see what it has on it in just a minute. right, so to wrap up with the Minute on the Mountain, we are in the book of Job. And Job is a book that a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with. And if I were Job, I probably would feel the same way. But I actually have always really loved the book of Job. Now, again, that's easy for me to say because I'm not Job and I didn't have to go through what he did. But if you know the story, Job was very prosperous, and Satan comes before God in heaven, and God brags on Job a little bit and says, have you seen how faithful Job is? And Satan says, well, that's because you've put a hedge of protection around him and everything's going well for him. So no wonder he's faithful to you. But if you were to remove that, he would curse you. So if you've ever wondered, where do Christians get this phrase, hedge of protection, from? Maybe you've heard that at your church. I'm going to pray a hedge of protection over you or around you. It comes from the book of Job. And so God allows Satan to do that. He inflicts all kinds of horrible things. Job loses his children, loses all of his livestock, loses just about everything, loses his health. I mean, it's a brutal trial that he goes through. And he never does curse God. And at the end of the book, he questions God. He doesn't understand what's going on. And I love God's response, even though it's a firm response. It's you might consider a harsh response. I don't think it's harsh. It's very direct. It's very firm. Because honestly, it would scare me to death if God's response would have been, yeah, you're right, Job, I messed up. That would just be terrifying. But our God doesn't mess up. He is perfect and righteous and just in everything that he does. And so here's how God responds to Job when Job begins to question. This is from Job 38. It says, then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm, and he said, who is this that obscures my plans with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man, and I will question you, and you will answer me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. I love the sarcasm there that God has. Who stretched a measuring line across it? On what were its footings set, or who laid its cornerstone while the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy? Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and wrapped it in thick darkness? When I fixed limits for it and set its doors and bars in place? When I said, this far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. And then God just goes on and basically says, where were you when I created everything? When I set up the entire universe and put order to it, Job? Because I was there. And I know everything that's going on, and I know what's going on in your situation. And I'm still good, and I'm still sovereign. I'm still in control. And so in hard times, I just hope that'd be an encouragement to you that God didn't mess up. God's not unaware of what's going on. God has allowed it to happen. He's got a purpose for it. So that's the Minute on the Mountain for tonight. Job 38. Again, it can be a very challenging book to read, but I would love to have you spend some time in Job and let me know what you think. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me by email, put them in the comments, whatever's best for you guys. Thanks for all your support. We're going to keep chugging along here. We're kind of heading towards 1,050 subscribers. We're not really close yet, but that will be our next giveaway. So if you like the channel, if you like the content, but you haven't subbed yet, do me a favor and please hit that subscribe button. I've got a couple of more gear reviews video coming up. I had a company that sent me some hiking pants that asked me to do a video on that. And then just had a company reach out to me with a flashlight that they'd like me to review. And so those are some of the things that will be coming up for you guys. And then not too long, in another 2 months or so, we're going to be getting into shed season. And hopefully we can get out and pick up a bunch of antlers this year. Thanks, guys. See you the next time we're out on the mountain.